Okay, so welcome everyone to this webinar where we are going to talk about getting started with flows and automations. Here with me, I have today Mikkel, who is a product manager for SuperOffice. Mikkel, introduce yourself, please.
Yeah, thank you, Bruna. So I'm working as a product manager for marketing at the R&D department at SuperOffice, and I'm very eager to showcase for you today, what we have created in our marketing premium offering, and especially the feature called Flows that we will show for you today here. So I'm very glad to be here today, Bruna.
Yes, me too. So, and I'm Bruna. I'm head of concepts and global campaigns here at SuperOffice. And, together we will talk a lot about marketing automation and the customer journey and a lot of great topics. So let's go into our agenda for the day. We will talk a lot about the customer journey and the relationship loop, which is our take on the customer journey. We'll also go a little bit about the challenges that we see some companies face when they start to automate some of their processes and their marketing activities. And we will give you a little sneak peek of how to get started with automations and flows, and also how to create a marketing flow in SuperOffice. And by the end of it, you'll also get some tips and tricks to make the most out of your marketing campaigns. So let's dive into it. And I
Yeah.
think the first thing we can start when we talk about marketing today, marketing and sales alignment, is talking about the buying journey. When we talk about the buying journey, especially for B2B, we know that this is not a linear process. It doesn't start with like, oh, I want to buy something, and then straight into your salespeople's inbox. There are a lot of different touch points here. Some of them are online, some of them are offline, but there is a lot of different ways customers interact with your company, interact with your content before they are even ready to make a decision. So all of these different touch points, they count a lot, and it's super important today for us as marketing teams to just be present where our customers are and interact with them and have a strong message on all of these different touch points. And we're talking here about the buying journey and all of the different aspects of the buying journey, especially for B2B. And we need to also think about the customer journey. And for us, the customer journey is a relationship loop. SuperOffice, we are all about relationships, and we feel like the customer journey could be updated into a relationship loop because they're always feeding into each other, all of these different stages, and all of these different stages have a pretty big impact in the way you start and build relationships with your prospects and customers. So, from the research stage, when a prospect is starting to understand, what they want, what is the problem, then they're trying to solve, to the awareness stage, where they are a little bit more aware of their problem and the possible solutions. When they start evaluating different solutions, when they are ready to buy on the purchase stage, usually here where we connect a lot marketing and sales together. But after the sale is sold, there's also a lot of different and important touch points that both marketing, sales, and customer service teams can impact and make the most of it to build even better and more profitable relationships, like the retention stage, making sure your customer sees every value your product brings to them, the expansion when you're you have this great relationship with them and they start maybe buying more from you, buying a different product from you, or buying more of the product that they bought the first time. And the advocacy stage, where you have like these brand advocates, these people that are like going out there and talking really well about your company and your product. And when you go into the advocacy stage, these people start spreading the word, start recommending your company to other people that may be on their research stage, and the loop keeps going and feeding itself. So when we talk about the relationship loop, there are so many different stages and so many different possibilities for us to impact. And especially as marketing people, I feel like there's a lot that we can do even after the purchase. But this is actually a framework for the entire company. So all of us, and I think, product managers also, Mikhail, also can impact a lot on all of these different stages. And what is a good way for us to then connect the dots here? Because how can we be present on all of these different stages? How can we make the most of it? And one possibility is, of course, automation and marketing automation. But it doesn't come without challenges, right? So according to research, one of the biggest challenges companies have when they're starting with marketing automation is collecting quality data. Just making sure you have information around your customers or your prospects. You have the right information about them. You have have everything updated all the time. Because without this, powerful information, it's really hard to make the most out of automations in the best way possible towards the goals of converting or expanding customers. And data is the first part, but also a challenge that a lot of companies face is creating an overall strategy. How can I look at the bigger picture and see how can I make an impact here on all of these different possibilities through all of these different channels with all of these different audiences and needs. And then this brings into building effective journeys. So how can I just be there, at the right moment of the right time? How can I send the right offer to this set of customers or this segment of customers? And I feel like here we can add a lot of quality by having the automation and having automation within your CRM, because your CRM is where you will have a lot of quality data on your customers and prospects. This can help you build an overall strategy by understanding their different touch points, understanding their questions, and then of course, we can build this effective journeys. And into building the effective journeys and something that we can help with Marketing Premium and flows, I think that the point becomes how can you start, right, Mikhail? So how can people start before they even go into the software and start building their flows?
Yeah. Of course, Bruna, and that's, as you started here saying, you need to start with the questions, because it's very, very easy to say that, okay, let's enable the new feature, and then we just try it out, and we send it out to our customers and prospects, and then we don't really know, okay, what is the strategy? What type of content should we, bring to all the recipients, and, what is actually the end goal of a new flow that you set up. So what you need to start at the other end, you need to think about, okay, what do you want to achieve by setting up these new flows? You need to align, within your team, within your departments, within your company, to decide what is the end goal of the new flows that you are setting up within SuperOffice. And to start with, you need to, think about, okay, what are your key touch points, with your customers or leads or prospects? Are you always communicating, through your website? Is it through emails? Is it through SMS? Or how do you actually connect, with all the contacts that you have in your database? So it's very important to discuss, okay, what are the type of touch points we have and we want to utilize? And then you can start mapping up, okay, what is the actual key processes to get into these specific touch points with our customers. So that will be the second level. I would say that, okay, define the key processes to align them with the key touch points that you have with your customers and prospects. Yeah. And of course, there is an audience or the contacts. You need to decide, okay, what is the segment of the audience or the contacts that you want to communicate to, and what is their actual needs, and how can you address their concerns. It's not just like you can send the same messaging to everyone, because everyone doesn't need the same thing. You need to be very precise, and the specific audience needs a specific type of content or offering that will spark their interest and get them to becoming interested and actually enroll into your flow based on some information or maybe downloads and etc. that you're offering on in your messaging or your content.
Yes, I think that's super important.
And when you have all that lined up, then we can start discussing, the product and what SuperOffice can actually offer through Marketing Premium.
Yeah, and I think we go into now, let's take a look of on Marketing Premium and flows, and how can we then help you create all of this good automations and flows to help with your lead generation or cross-sell, upsell efforts. So let's take a look, Mikko, at the building blocks of a flow.
Yeah. So when you're starting a flow, of course, there is need to be some gatekeeper or a trigger, to make sure that the context that is actually enrolling to a specific flow is the correct one. And that one we are, maintaining through triggers. And the triggers could, of course, be automatic, that it could be that they have submitted a specific form. It could be that they have created a request, or that a new contact is actually created in the SuperOffice database, and that would trigger that contact to be enrolled into a flow. But it doesn't have to be automatic. Of course, you can add contacts manually into a flow as well. It could be some kind of maybe a VIP flow or a specific flow where you want to handpick certain contacts, and those are the ones that is enrolled and getting the content from this specific flow. Nice. So that is the starting point, the trigger. And then when a person is enrolled, you usually want to send something to them, just verify and acknowledge that, okay, you are now in this specific flow. You get kind of an email, could be some type of verification that, okay, you are now receiving information based on this and that, or it could be an SMS, of course, as well. And it could be several SMSs or emails through a full flow. So it's not just once, it could be several times in a flow. But that's, the outwards thing towards the context. It could also be that inwards for you within SuperOffice, you would like to update the contact or add them to a specific selection, or in this case, a project. So you can make sure that maybe they are in a project that you want to utilize later on in another process, or you want to keep track of everyone that has enrolled to a specific flow in a project as well. And then, of course, we can add data to the users within SuperOffice as well. We can create follow-up, so they make a quick call to the contact saying that, I see that you signed up for this. Okay, nice. I will see you there at the event. Or, would you like to have a product meeting or a first meeting where we discuss what we are offering for you? And of course, it could be requests and sales and the other entities within SuperOffice that is added through the flow automatically as well. But to be able to actually, steer the context a little bit and, create a flow over time, we need to have some flow processes that also create some waiting times. It could be that you wait until a specific date, or in this case, where we call it wait for an action. That it could be an action that the contact is actually clicking a link within an email. It could be that they are added to a specific project, or that we want them to interact with a specific form maybe. And if they don't do that, maybe we should drop them out. And if they actually interact, okay, then they should go down a specific part of the flow or a specific track.
Nice.
And based on that, of course, you could have several links and several actions that you want to utilize within a flow. And thus you want to split it up in different lanes or tracks within your flow. So it could be that in an email, maybe you're offering 3 different campaigns or different products and services, and maybe you want to take the contact into just one of those specific lanes or tracks. So if they press product A, then they go down the track for product A and get specific content related to just that product. And then we utilize a split. And of course, you can have a discard pile also. If they're not interacting, okay, then we have a default lane where everyone is ending up if they're not clicking anything. And of course, there have to be an end goal as well. Okay, now the flow is finished. We have this type of success criteria. If it's a lead nurturing campaign, maybe you want to have a prospect meeting with a specific prospect. That's the end goal. So that could be a success criteria. So you know that, okay, based on how many prospects that enrolled into this specific flow, then we see that, okay, maybe 20% are actually converted into a prospect meeting. And that's a goal that we can all, measure against and try to get higher and higher all the time. And those success criteria could, of course, be based on the CRM data you have within SuperOffice, and you can have several success criteria as well. So you don't have to be just meetings. It could be that sales are created or specific links are clicked, and etc. So there are a variety of possibilities here.
It looks like we can do a lot with flows.
Yes.
And I think you mentioned some of these possibilities of actions, of activities, and of even goals and success criteria. So I think maybe now, Mikael, it's time for us to see it in action. Let's create one flow together.
Yeah, that would be great. So I will welcome you all into a small demo session right now. Welcome to this product demo where we will showcase SuperOffice Marketing Premium and how you can handle a marketing automation lead management flow within SuperOffice. And to start with, of course, you will set your email settings so you know which email address that you're actually sending from so that it's distributed to your participants' email boxes correctly. And of course, you have subscription types, so you will follow GDPR rules and you can be GDPR compliant if you're using that within SuperOffice. On top of that, of course, we would like to add a success criteria for this specific lead management flow. And in this case, we are using a prospect meeting as the actual success criteria. So if we manage to book a prospect meeting with a specific prospect, then this flow for that specific participant is viewed as a success. And how are the prospects then actually entering this flow? On top of the flow here, you can see that we have a trigger, and the trigger is called form submitted. And if we click on that, we will see that, okay, the actual form that is to be submitted is a download for product catalog form that we have published on our web page. And that specific form is actually looking like this. And when a prospect is submitting this specific person will automatically be added to SuperOffice and to the specific flow, and they will immediately get an email with a link where they can download the product catalog that they were actually waiting for. And the email itself could look something like this, and then they could directly download it from here. And of course, we can add more valuable information to this email. And in this case, we have added links to more information about product A and product B, and that could be very useful. A downside of actually using a form on the web page is that it's open for everyone. So to narrow it down, what persons that actually are entering the specific flow, you can of course, on top of the form also add filters. In this case, we have said that the actual contact that is getting into the flow needs to be categorized as a prospect, and at the same time, we are also checking an exclusion list where we have a blacklist of spammers and irrelevant contacts that we never want to send anything to, and then they can't sign up for this flow either. And that's very valuable for you to use. As you can see here,
We have also added a wait for action, and that means that we sent the initial email to the prospect, and in this case, we've given them 7 days to actually interact with the email. And as you saw previously, I said that we had a link to product A and product B within the email. If a prospect clicks those links, they will go down these 2 tracks. So if you press product A link, you will be added as well to a selection where you are saying that this specific prospect is interested in product A, and then you can further down the road do even more communication to them based on just product A. And in this case, we are also adding a follow-up for the sales rep responsible for this specific prospect, so they can get even more personal with the prospect, and ultimately trying to actually book a meeting with them, a prospect meeting, to try and close a deal with them. But let's say that they won't interact with the first email. Then when the waiting time of 7 days has ended, we can say that, yeah, we go down this track instead, and we send a new email to them with more offers, more possible interaction points, and then we are waiting for more to see if they take action in this specific email. And if they don't, we have a dropout option here where people that aren't interacting with us will be dropped out, and then they could automatically as well be added to a new flow, let's say a long-term lead nurturing flow. And the ones that are successful is of course the one where we have created a prospect meeting. Finally, we can dive into the reporting of the flow, and to start with, we have a summary here showing, how many people actually enrolled, how many prospects have enrolled to this specific flow, how many are in progress, how is the success rate going, and, to get a brief overview of the actual flow. But on top of that, of course, we have reporting as well, where we can see, the participants based on status and, the top performing emails, what are the reasons for prospects dropping out of this, and which actual emails are the ones that are performing the best, to be able to all the time updating and fine-tuning our flow to be even more precise and even more personalized with our prospect. And the flexibility of this system ensures that we can easily adapt this flow for other campaigns as well, like webinars or special promotions, keeping our marketing automation relevant for all our prospects and customers by being personalized and focused on driving the leads and the customers through our sales funnel.
And as you all saw there, that was one way of using SuperOffice flows. But of course, there is more inspiration that we can offer to you. We have more type of flows that you could, be inspired by. And of course, we have best practices around this as well. So there are possibilities to get help with, if you have problems starting with your processes, we can help you as well through, different type of flows. And as you can see here, we have another example. This is one where you handle event management, where you may trigger, the flow by a contact is actually submitting a form. They get added to an event, a project, and they get some confirmation emails. And then after the event, they will get a feedback email as well, to rate your actual event. And then based on that, you can have a different success criteria. So that's one of the best practices we offer from our consultancy team, and they have other best practices and other type of flows as well that they're offering to you. But no matter, which way you want to start, if it's an easy manner or you want a full-fledged, of course, we have some tips and tricks that you can utilize no matter what you're using SuperOffice flows for. And Bruna has some great tips here to share with you as well.
Yeah, and I think, as Mikael said, no matter the way you're starting out, let's keep in mind, that using the data in your CRM is super important here. When we talked about the challenges before, one of the biggest challenges is to acquire this quality data and use this quality data. So use the data in your CRM to segment the flows, to use the information you have on your customers to create the best flow possible. I feel like, you know, you can use selections, you can use the projects, and you can even look into, you know, what are the questions your customers ask the most, what are the requests, the topic on the requests you get the most, and then maybe use this informations and these insights into creating the content for your flows, you know, because as we say in marketing teams, the content is king. So use the information you have on your CRM to build the content. Let's say you have a lot of questions on the onboarding stage that you get through requests. You can use this as inspiration to create the content and then create an onboarding flow that you send all of this precious informations to your customers right after they buy a product from you. So this is just one of the examples, but really focus on the content, you know, try to create content that's valuable to your prospects and customers, that will help them, that, you know, as Mikkel said before, that will address their concerns. This is super important, and this will really help bring forward the best results in your flows. And you know, writing can be tricky, and creating content can be tricky, and you can get a little stuck sometimes. I know I do sometimes. And for that, you know, we really suggest you use AI as a helping hand. In SuperOffice, in our mailing editor, you can have a lot of help from AI in, you know, getting different versions of your text. Maybe having like a more formal versions, more informal version, a different take on it, or even, you know, getting some help into creating some images and really making sure your content pops. So I think, you know, making sure you go with the data you have, use this as an insight to create the best content possible, and using the tools you have at hand, you can really build some very successful flows that will help, you know, with all of your business goals. And, you know, as we are coming towards the end of the session, we want to invite you, you know, to get to know more. Are you curious to see more about flows? Are you curious to see more about what Marketing Premium can help you with? Just take a look and scan this QR code and take a look at what we can do. And, you know, don't hesitate to reach out to us, because we'll be happy to talk more about it.
Absolutely. So just get in touch and we will start discussing this great functionality and features with you.
And I think that's it for today. Mikkel, thank you so much for being here. And thanks everyone for watching. And we hope you get excited and you start, you know, building all of these amazing flows.
Yeah. Thank you, Bruna. And thank you everyone listening in, and have a nice day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.